Hello everyone, my name is Ekaterina and welcome to my cybersecurity channel. In today's video, we will discuss quite common cybersecurity crime that can unfortunately touch all of us. We will talk about the identity theft. Before we start, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button, and let's go. Today, I will show the case from the movie Identity Theft. In this movie, the main character, Mr. Peterson, lives his normal life. He is settled, has family and kids. And his life was pretty normal until one day he tries to pay for his gas and his payment gets rejected. After leaving the gas station, he suddenly gets arrested for not paying his debts. What debts? He's a decent man. However, not long before the situation, he gets an unusual call.
We're calling today because unfortunately it appears that someone has attempted to steal your identity.
The person calling represents herself as a bank worker. She tells that Mr. Peterson's identity has been stolen and offers some insurance service.
Safeguards your credit rating against theft and fraud.
Yes.
Our character agrees to that, and then the caller asks for some confidential information such as social security number, date of birth, place of birth.
And social security number, please.
Sure.
Mr. Peterson falls for the trap and he gives up a lot of his confidential information, which is enough for an identity theft. So, what should he do? Let's deviate from the movie plot and be realistic right now. I need to mention that the measures you need to take in case of identity theft depend on the country where you live in. However, I will give today the most common to-do list. And for people living in Finland, I have prepared a special checklist of what to do in case the identity theft has happened to you. The link is in the description. The first thing to do in case of identity theft is to deactivate all of your bank accounts. Do not necessarily cancel the bank cards because this can help to find a criminal. And eventually you will need to create new cards, new account numbers, and don't delay such kind of thing. Because if you mention the reason of theft for opening new bank accounts, usually the bank can do it only if the theft has happened not so long time ago. Number 2 is for people living in the United States, is submit an ID theft affidavit. This document is necessary to handle identity theft bureaucracy issues. Number 3, file a police report. Do this immediately. This will help to prove your innocence to the debt collectors and creditors. Though the chance of police catching up the criminal is quite low, let's be honest. And when you file the police report, take a copy of it. It will be necessary when you handle all of the further bureaucracy procedures. Step number 4 is to alert all creditors about the fraud. If the identity thief has taken a home loan, call the agency and say that your identity has been stolen. Request to close the account or transfer the account to another number immediately. In this case, police report and ID theft affidavit might be handy to show. In case the debt collectors contact you, respond to them immediately and explain that you have been a victim of the identity theft. Step number 5, raise a fraud alert to all credit reporting bureaus. Usually, if you make it at least to one bureau, it must take the responsibility of handling this case to other bureaus. However, this process can take up some time. So take initiative and report the fraud alert in all credit reporting bureaus. This alert will require creditors to contact you before issuing new loans on your name. However, keep in mind that this measure is temporary and usually the fraud alert is from 90 to 180 days long. Best way to ensure that the thief cannot use your credit anymore is to place a credit freeze on your account. A credit freeze places a password on your credit file, meaning that no one can access your data. Of course, until you grant the permission for that. The fraud won't be able to open a new line of credit on your name. This measure can cost some money. For example, in Finland, this is about 20 euros. However, it is worth the cost. Step number 6 is to sign up for identity theft monitoring. This will grant you an opportunity for an extra level of surveillance on your case. However, it's important that you make this step before freezing your credit. So this step is basically recommended for anyone. Sign up for identity theft monitoring even before the identity theft has happened to you. Number 7, monitor statements very closely. Since you know that at least one of your accounts has been violated, you have to control all of your accounts for suspicious transactions. Many victims find that their identities has been used for multiple cases. This step will help you to catch the additional crimes happening to you. Step number 8 is for people living in the United States. Contact your bank to stop all of the payments on the missing checks. In Europe, checks are not so common anymore, so you can avoid this step. Step number 9 is also for people living in the United States. You have to make a victim's report with Financial Trade Commission. Step number 10 is to notify the postal inspector. If you think that the criminal might have requested to change your address, you should contact the post office immediately and put a block on changing your personal information. Maybe you should consider renting a lock-in mailbox and also consider additional methods of delivering confidential mail. The next step is to contact Social Security Administration. In case your Social Security number has been stolen or being used to exploit the unemployment benefits, you should visit the authorities and report the theft of your identity information. While you're there, ask for additional steps necessary to process this case. Number 12. Contact your passport office. It might be the case that the criminal has used your passport in his purposes. Step number 13 is to secure your phone service. Call the phone companies and ask them to put the passwords on all of your accounts. It is advisable to do so with every company with which you have financial transactions. The next step is to safeguard your driver's license. Contact the authorities to check if another license has been issued on your name and instruct them to put a fraud alert on your case. If they reject this, feel free to report the complaint. The next step is to visit the Theft Resource Center. I do recommend visiting the website idtheft.org. There you can find a lot of useful information which is free of charge. And the last step is to hire an attorney. If you continue to have problems with clearing up your name or handling the law procedures, I do recommend to hire a lawyer. Identity theft has a lot of financial and legal sinkholes which might be difficult to handle alone. So find a good lawyer who might help you with your case. So now we have discussed the measures necessary to take in case the identity theft has already happened to you. But in my TikTok, I have made a video how to detect the identity theft in case it might happen. I also want to mention that in TikTok there is a video of how to protect your identity online. The links are below in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you, and let's have the fingers crossed that identity theft never happens to us. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next chapters.